This is our weekly Wellness Wednesday, where we sort of just get on here to share from our heart. It's a heart-to-heart sneak peek into Life Vantage, which is a company we all work with. And we're going to have four speakers today that are going to share with you just sort of something that inspires them about either our incredible products or the business, just to basically give you the real face of professional network marketers and people kind of out there swinging tough for the wellness industry at large. So I'm going to take a few minutes before I introduce the first speaker to give you a little bit of a context for what they might be talking about, because there could be some big words thrown out or some unfamiliar words. The products that we have with our company are all very much steeped in science. We're all backed by science. We're big on peer-reviewed research, which is the highest level of studies that you can get in the scientific field, right? So they might use words that make you feel like, what are they talking about? So I just wanted to throw some of those out there so that you have a little bit more idea. So one word that we use a lot is biohackers. We call ourselves biohackers because we consider that we are optimizing, we're using our biology, and we're hacking into our biology rather to optimize it. And what we're really targeting is the aging process. So aging is something that we're all going through. It takes a toll on all of us in a very different way. And what we've been able to see in the last few decades through science is that our cellular health and our cellular well-being is really what determines how we're aging, because there's a lot of damage that gets done to us on a daily basis, and that will start to compound slowly from about age 20. Right? From 0 to 20, sort of have a grace period of growth. And from 20 on, sorry to tell you, but you're aging. And sort of the cellular buildup of waste and toxins is really governing your aging process. So our products belong to a field called nutrigenomics. And nutrigenomics means simply that we use nutrients to affect genetic expression. Right? So genetic expression is becoming more popular, more known. And for a long time, scientists thought, and so we all thought, that everything in our life was determined by our genetics. But they've actually found that that isn't true, right? What they're realizing over the last 30 years is that genes and DNA is a blueprint. It's a code. And your DNA, which lives in all of your cells, is basically a library of all of these codes. And what determines what of your genetic code does get expressed is your environment, your epigenetic environment. So the cells are living in an environment with lots of cellular pathways that we are working with these products, and the health of those pathways, like 97% of what determines how your genes are expressed is controllable, and is controllable gently and safely through nutrients. So we don't consider our products supplements. We consider them cellular activators. They're in there cleaning up our waste and hacking into our genetic code to optimize it to function at its highest level, and sort of the way that we're designed to do before basically being acted upon by outside influences. So our company is called Life Vantage, and our main flagship brand is called Protandem. So you'll hear people bring up the name Protandem, and what they're talking about is a brand of 3 products that we call the Tri-Synergizer. So the Tri-Synergizer is these 3 cellular activators that are providing a nutritious environment for your cells, so to keep them happy and carrying out your genetic sequences as optimally as possible. So sometimes I think of it as like a highway, right? The inside of our cells is like a freeway system, like a mega one, like Los Angeles times a billion, right? And in that freeway system, you get traffic jams. You just do. As you get older, we all feel it. You get a little jammed up. And what your cells really need at that point is a lot of green lights, a lot of green lights in a lot of different directions. And what Protandem Tri-Synergizer is doing is flipping the switch, we call it, getting in there and turning on those lights, making them green, so that we can hack into this aging process and make it not full of pain and suffering, essentially, right? Like to live out our lives in health, to get our health span to match our lifespan. I think that is somewhere in all of us, that is a desire that we have. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our first speaker. That's going to be Carrie. She just found out she was speaking a minute ago, so we'll just throw her right into the frying pan here. Carrie also lives on Kauai with no internet. Thanks for being with us, Carrie. Carrie is a spunky distributor, been doing this for a long time with us and always packs in some wisdom. What you got for us, Carrie?
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like real life. I'm over here making pancakes. I can do this webinar with you. Hey, thanks for letting me jump on really quick. What I want to say is, wow, so good. I love how you say all that. Thank you so much. Hang on. I wanted to share with you, since I've been taking these products for 7 years, I started out with our flagship product, love it. And as our company evolved into more, the next thing I took was I think it was the NRF1. So we had another pathway, like Jennifer's talking about, pathways or highways. So now I was activating 2 pathways in my system. And then I was always waiting for a wonderful probiotic. And then we got the probiotic. So I'm able to work with my gut health. Also with this NRF1 is major gut health, okay? Help too. And then we came with our omegas. And so what I'm sharing with you right now is our vitality stack, which I love. Our omegas are really yummy. We have fish oils that you can actually chew. They taste like lemon and lime. That's really important to know, is like, if your omegas taste like fish, you're getting the wrong end of the stick, okay? On that one, hold on. Second thing is, the next one we got is our third theory of aging product, which is the NAD. And you see these here? This, since I turned 47, I've been eating readers, which is no fun. But I've noticed that since I've been taking this, my eyes are changing. So I'm actually going to the eye doctor Friday to see what can I do because I kind of do and I kind of don't need these. So I notice there's a difference with my eyes, okay? So with these products, you guys, these are everything that we need for our pathways, our highways, and our systems to work optimally. And I just love sharing these like every single day, multiple times a day. It's been a real pleasure to be in this company and to be able to learn. Like back in the day, I signed up for the gold pack because that's what we had. And it was like $650. And literally, you guys, like I have learned so much in the last 7 years. You cannot put a price on it. Okay. If this is something that you're looking at for products and you don't know about the business, I don't know if I want to do business. I was the same way. I did not want to look into another business because I am busy. I have my own cleaning company over here. But what I realized is that other people, they're already doing something like this. They're already drinking something. So we can just share a better way for them to take care of their systems and a new way that they didn't even know existed, which is activation over supplementation. Okay, guys, so I'm going to finish making my pancakes. Thank you for throwing me in last minute. Carrie Hiltsley here on Kauai. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie. So good. I love it. Straight from the kitchen, coming at you live. Okay, so our next guest is a super kind, very sweet veterinarian out of, I believe, Georgia. And Alice is, I believe, focuses on horses and is a super, I think of you as just such a busy mom who is just doing everything she can to juggle full-time veterinarian and squeezing in LifeVantage when you can. We actually have a product with LifeVantage that focuses on animals called Pet Tandem. I like to say it's the first pet supplement first tested on humans. So Alice, are you with us? Can you share for a few minutes?
Sure, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Good.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on the call. And as Jennifer said, I'm an equine veterinarian, so I just work on horses. And but what I love about my job is that I'm always outside. I'm interacting with not just the horse, but their human and whatever kids are running around and their animals. And so this has been something really amazing that I never thought would come into my life, where I'm not just helping my patient, but I can share information that can help that animal's family. And that in itself has been really rewarding. But when it came to me, I initially fell in love with the science. It's really unheard of to find a supplement, a natural supplement that has peer-reviewed studies. And a lot of times when I go to people's barns, they pull out like their tubs of supplements out of their tap room and they're all covered in dust, and I'm taking pictures of all the ingredients and having to go home and look up the individual ingredients. And there may be some anecdotal evidence and maybe a little bit of science on one or two of the ingredients, but they're just, you don't know how pure they are or where they came from. And it's just really hard for me to put my name behind it or even recommend it. And a lot of times people are spending a lot of money and over supplementing and actually doing more harm than good. So when this came to me, it was shared by a friend who's a veterinarian also. She was having amazing results in her patients. So I, obviously took a look and fell in love with the studies. One of our products is called ProTandem NRF2. And I have a biochem background, and I remember thinking, how do I not know about this pathway? This is incredible. I know about what it does. Why don't I know about the pathway? And when I looked it up, it was actually discovered in the late 90s. And that's when I graduated with my biochem degree. And I literally missed it. Like I was too old. So I am not too old, but it just goes to show you that recent science takes a long time for the public to hear about it, to really understand what it does. And it's the type of technology that takes a long time to be communicated and for people to really wrap their head around and understand. And I had a few patients in mind, working with animals, just like people, we experience the shortcomings of modern medicine, where sometimes you've maxed out all of the pharmaceuticals that you can use, and then you're using other pharmaceuticals to counteract, the side effects. And sometimes you're just stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I initially started using ProTandem Nerf2 in those situations. And I had some results that floored me, that were truly unbelievable. And it just showed me the magnitude and how important it is for us to really share this information with people, because they deserve to know about it. One of the other things about this is when I found out, I had just lost my father to pancreatic cancer, and I became quickly aware of the life is short and that we really have to take our health into our own hands, and that my lifestyle of being a busy mom, of being a veterinarian who's on call 24/7 because I own my own practice, and driving and eating on the road and skipping meals. And, sometimes it's hard to go to the grocery store and buy healthy foods, that with my hectic lifestyle, I better find a way to take care of myself. And so that was kind of my wake-up call, I think. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about this company, is that our products really, truly are the supportive care that most of us can't afford to live without. And the stories that you're here are very moving. And, as I was sharing this information with people, saw tremendous results in my patients, and people that I shared it with, I started to see just that extra secondary income. which I really appreciated, because as much as I love what I do, it's a stretch. You know, I'm burning the candles at both ends, the candle at both ends. And the bottom line is, as much as I love what I do, I don't want to do it till I'm 90 years old. And this has been just the most amazing way to supplement my income and build a side business that actually fits in with what I love, what I like to share, you know, helping people, educating people about how to stay healthy and, you know, prevent that slippery slope of disease. So it has been incredible. I'm so grateful it was shared with me. And all I can say is, you know, don't take our word for it. You know, do your own research. The studies are incredible. You know, like I said, it is very unusual to have peer-reviewed studies on a natural branded supplement. And our Protandim Nerf 2 has actually spawned a lot of incredible research. Harvard, LSU, just the American Heart Association, just great studies that you really need to take a look at, because you just never know who you can help. So I guess with that, I don't know if there's anything else that I can share, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to help in any way that I can.
Oh, like I said, the sweetest. Thank you, Alice. That was quite informative. And thank you for bringing up NRF2 specifically. And I actually have a quote written here that I like to read sometimes. One of those peer-reviewed studies that you mentioned out of Washington State University determined NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach into the foreseeable future. NRF2 may become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine.
Thank you,
That's
Jennifer.
Yeah. Had to squeeze that in, right?
No, that's a huge deal. That is one of my favorite papers to share with people, because it really opens people's eyes, and it is not an exaggeration. When you hear people's stories and you see how it helps animals, you feel it in your heart. It's no longer in your brain. It is like in here, and you can't help but want to share it with people. So thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks, Alice. Love how it helps animals. Okay, so I want to move on to Julie Mai. Julie is also here on Kauai, and she is someone that I only met because of this business. I mean, maybe I saw you a little bit here and there, but when we all started this up, she was a mom of 2 and a jewelry designer of fine, lovely gold jewelry. And that's just sort of how I knew her. And we launched into this, and she has had 2 more children in the process, and has blown us all away by literally becoming a leader in this field. She was invited to speak in Vegas as one of the most powerful women in network marketing. And she's done it all from a little island of 60,000 people, thousands of miles off into the Pacific Ocean. So please, Julie, share with us.
Thanks for putting me on the spot. Geez. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for being on the call and hearing what we have to say. Alice, I loved what you shared, and I just love that we have such a broad spectrum of mammals, that like, really what we have can help everybody. And I can go on and on about the product. I mean, that's a whole other call that we actually do have that we can invite you to, just about the products, because the science is so incredible. And I think what I just want to say is, why I took this seriously is because I did share it with someone very close to my heart, and that was my mom. And she was in a very dark place 7.5 years ago when this landed in my lap, and I shared it with her, and I watched her life transform, you guys, in a very short amount of time. And it took her from a dark place to the happiest, healthiest that she'd ever been. And I watched the last 7 of her lives just from the very, as a daughter, just a really good place. So I'm so grateful every day that I was, shared the product line of what this can do for people. But I just want to go back to my personal story. I want to get real with you guys, because I think that's what this is all about. Is 7.5 years ago, my husband and I, like Jennifer said, we had a thriving jewelry design business. I was also working as a waitress a few nights a week. He was pouring cement a few days a week. You know, here in the islands, it's pretty expensive. And so we just had dreams. We wanted to buy a home. We wanted to make some money. We wanted to get more time with our kids. And what we found is, you know, for myself anyway, as I started to really realize that the harder I was working to get to my dreams, the farther away they were going. And for me as a mom, I just wanted to spend more time with my kids. I didn't understand. I remember like being in a moment in my studio going, why am I not happy? Why am I having these feelings of just like, this isn't all that I was cut out for. I just knew I wasn't happy. And I remember thinking, okay, I looked at my friends and they're always complaining about money, but they're always at the beach, but they're complaining about money. And here I am building our dreams, building, you know, brick and mortar, hands, blood, sweat, and tears. But the one thing I didn't have was time. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted more time with my kids. And I knew that if I knew in that moment, and I remember it so well, that if I didn't make a change, nothing was going to change. And I knew that I was going to wake up 5, 10, 15 years down the road and my kids were going to be grown. And you know what happens when our kids grow up? They don't want to hold our hand and they don't want to hang out with us. They want to be with their friends. You know, my oldest daughter is 14 and I'm seeing that. And I just knew in that moment, my girls were 6 and 3, that I had to do something different so that I could get my life back, even though, you know, I didn't know what that was going to look like, but I knew in my heart that I had to do something different. So when this landed on my lap, this opportunity landed in my lap, I didn't see it right away. I didn't see the big picture, but I was open. I was open-minded to possibly a different way because the road that I chose wasn't working. The linear income, if you will, the trading time for dollars, the brick and mortar, I'm going to hammer out all of, you know, for me, I was literally hammering out jewelry, wasn't giving me what I wanted. And I knew that didn't want to do it for the next 40 to 50 years. Like Alice said, like we love what we do, but it's not giving us that quality of life that we so desperately want with our children. As a mother, that's what I wanted. So after hearing the information, you know, I knew that these products were something that I wanted in my body. I knew I wanted to share them with my mom. And so that's what I did. And once I started to see the progression of her health and how it changed her, I started to do a little bit of digging, you guys. I started to research not only the product and the company, but I started to research the industry. And what I learned, like so many people try to tell you differently, is that network marketing is one of the most incredible ways to do business because it's solely around helping other people succeed. And you have to really become a better person to be good at this. But not only that, I realized and I learned that some of the most successful people on the planet do network marketing. They either do it, they own it, or they teach it. You know, Warren Buffett owns network marketing companies. Tony Robbins teaches about it. Jim Rohn teaches about it. And so I started to get this idea in my head of, okay, let me see if other people are out there that want what I want. And you know what? There are a ton of people that want more time because that's the one thing that we can't get back. And a ton of people want better health because, again, without health, you really don't have much of anything. So health and time are those two key components. So I got out there and started sharing this with people. And what I found is, you know, so many people saw the vision with me. And I was just so grateful that this came into my life, you know, not knowing at the time what it was, but how it changed my life. Because 3 years later, after saying yes to this, something that I never thought I would do, I was a jewelry designer, I was a mom, I was, you know, never in a million years I think I would do something like this. But in 3 years, I was able to create a leveraged wheel compared to that linear wheel that you have to get into every single day. I was able to create a leveraged wheel that I could step out of and have a couple more babies, which I did. So now we have 4 kids, and I didn't have to worry about how the bills were going to get paid or how the food was going to put on the table because I was creating that leveraged wheel of what we have with this opportunity. So I just want to say real quick before I introduce our next guest, you guys, you know, my prayers are with everybody in the world. I know what's going on right now. You know, first we had the coronavirus, and now we have this global crisis, or, you know, it's just my heart is aching a lot. I think like a lot of us can agree of what's going on. And my prayers are with everybody right now. And we're so grateful that we're connected to something positive and full of light. And all we do is bring love and light. And I just wanted to make sure I said that we acknowledge and we see what's happening, that we just wanted to get together to bring some positiveness to this. And I'm just so grateful every day for what this has done for my life. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next speaker, she's become a dear friend. She is the sweetest gal out of the South. I got to know her in Scottsdale about 6 months ago. Our company sent a few of us to a retreat to just enjoy each other and learn more about the industry and the business. And Debbie is someone that I got to know quite well and just fall in love with. And don't let her sweet Southern demeanor fool you. We did a UTV ride, my daughter Lulu, her and I, and she's sweet as can be, but she likes to go for speed. And there was a couple times where I was like, hold on for dear life. And I'll let her share a little bit about that, but she's just such a sweetheart, and I will let her take the mic away from here. So go ahead, Debbie, we'd love to have you on. She's a pediatric assistant, and so she knows a lot about the science and what this is too.
Oh, thank you, Julie. Can you hear me okay? I
Yep.
love you, sweet mama. That is awesome. Listen, enjoy your babies because they grow up so, so fast, right? Okay, guys, so my name is Debbie Zito, and I am so thankful to be here tonight. And yes, I'm a Southern girl. I live on a little island myself, so aloha to everybody. I live in St. Simon's Island, Georgia. It's a little 17-mile island right off the coast of Georgia, and I just love it. So I've been practicing pediatric and adolescent medicine here for about 30 years. It'll be 30 years this fall, and I love my babies. They make me so, so happy. I'm also a lactation consultant, so I really love working with my family. So I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about my journey, which was totally, totally unexpected. Jennifer, you said it perfectly. You know, oftentimes our bodies hit a traffic jam. You guys, my highways were all like this. I hit a traffic jam. And yes, I had heard of oxidative stress. I remember back in the 80s in a small little microbiology class talking about how peanut butter oxidizes and you better refrigerate it. And I remember thinking at the time, wow, this free radical stuff, this stuff is pretty horrendous, you know? So fast forward, you know, 20 some years later, you know, this is all that we hear about. So my story started in the traffic jam, you guys. I was turning 50 and Debbie felt not herself. You know, Dr. Alice, I would love to connect with you. We have so many things in common. In fact, my oldest is actually a vet student at the University of Georgia. So go dogs. But my traffic jam, you guys, was wearing me out. I didn't feel like myself. You know, I'm usually happy and I love life and I enjoy life. You guys, both of my girls had gone to college. I was working crazy hours and literally I was falling apart on the inside and I needed help. Okay, so I was looking for an answer. I was not looking for network marketing. I was not looking for sales. I didn't understand any of that stuff. But my passion always is to help people. But you guys, I was losing my own health and I needed help. So I actually found LifeVantage. I had a good friend, Dr. Shawn McKee. She's a neuroradiologist. We went to high school together. And she was posting on social media about neurocognitive health and anti-aging and turning back your clock and lowering your oxidative stress and all of those great words. I went, ding, 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 I need that. And whatever it is, I trust you and I need to get it into my body. So I started taking it, you guys, not expecting anything. I put it in every one of my, you know, my kids, my husband, and I, you know, totally unexpected. Over the course of the next month and 2 months and 3 months, you guys, I started feel better. But what I felt along this way was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. This could help everybody. Everybody out there has oxidative stress. Everybody needs this. But again, I sat back and I thought, well, I'm so thankful because I'm feeling more like me. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm so thankful. But you guys, doors kept opening up. And I am a perfect example of why it's important to connect with your people. This LifeVantage family is amazing. I'm so thankful. I'm looking at all these faces and I can't wait to meet all of you because you guys inspire me. You inspire me. And I went to an event, my first event, and I'm sitting in the event thinking, wow, I really like these people. This is amazing. And you guys, the lights went on in my head and all of a sudden I realized, holy cow, this whole journey for me, you know, besides it creating better health for me and helping me be the best version of me, that's what we all want, right? But this was a huge answer to prayer. And I had this totally clear, amazing vision, like God had me in the right place at the right time. And it was an answer to a prayer that I didn't even know I had. I needed so much more than just better health. I needed time with my children. Julie, that's why spend time with those babies. Be thankful for that. They grow up so fast. But my whole life just flew by me, and I said, oh my gosh, this is an answer. This is time freedom. Okay. I never had time, on call all the time, crazy hours. All of that stress brought me to that breaking point. You know, I was turning 50. Dr. Alice, I had lost my mom too to pancreatic cancer. She was just 50 years of age. And I'm thinking, gosh, what if I had this in my hands that long ago? So I'm sitting here thinking, wow, this is awesome. I came home and I told my husband, we talked about it, and I was scared to death because I thought, I am venturing to something. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know how to share it. But what I knew was this: I was feeling great. I wanted the best for my patients. I wanted to be part of something bigger, greater, something that had this amazing science behind it. And that's what I did. I dug in, you guys. I fit LifeVantage in the nooks and crannies. I remember the first time I was at the event, and one of our Master Pro 10s was talking to me. I actually didn't know who he was. His Gabe Pearson, and he was telling me a little bit, and I said, oh, so nice to meet you. My life is crazy. And in the back of my mind, you know, he's giving me some advice. And I'm thinking, this guy, he has not a clue how busy I am. Not a clue. I don't even have 5 minutes. I'm lucky if I brush my hair in the morning, you know. But I thought about that. I came home and I thought, you know what? I have 5 minutes to change somebody's life. I absolutely do. So that's what I did. I take 5 minutes. I share a little bit, share the video, share my story, share how amazing it was. I shared with inspiration, love, passion, and that joy, you guys, is so important because people see that. And that's how my story started. And I just kept sharing. And I was surrounded by amazing people like you, gifted with all different types of wonderful inspirational stories and gifts. And we collaborated together. And here we are, you guys. We are Amazing LifeVantage. So if you're sitting here tonight thinking about this, thinking, I don't have enough time, okay? I am not feeling myself. I am worried about this, know that this could be an answer for you, okay? This could be an answer for you. So jump in, give it all you've got, give it the fire. There's nothing different from me than any one of you. I love LifeVantage. I love the people. I love the products. I love being inspired, and I am going to go 100% and enjoy it. And I just want to tell you guys, this fast forward a couple years, because I took the products for 1.5 years before I shared it. I went to an event, things started growing and changing, and now 2 years later, guess what? I am seeing time freedom, okay? I finished clinic today. It's 6 o'clock. Normally, I would still be at clinic, running rounds at the hospital, crazy hours. You guys, I work 3 days a week now at my practice, which I love to do. And I'm going to keep doing that, but I get to come home and I get to ride my bike. I get to go to the beach. I get to spend time with my kids. I actually get to prepare a meal. And guess what? Debbie's happy. So Jennifer and Julie, thank you guys for having me here today. Julie, I'm coming to see all of you guys in Hawaii, by the way. So I want to make sure we all get together.
Nice.
Of course.
Thank you so much, Debbie. That was powerful. Thank you. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. Please, if this is your first time here, and get back to the person who invited you and let them know if you perhaps want to try some products or you need some more information. We're happy to get that to you. Or you heard what these fine ladies said and you got 5 minutes to change somebody's life and you want to hop into this with us and get going. Thanks a lot for coming. We'll see you next week. Aloha.